Jesus. Awesome. Hi, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
This is Mariana. I'm the head of advisors here at OK Student, and I'm here today with other side.
Other side, yeah. Hello, guys. You're right. I'm Joana. I'm one of the student advisors for OK Student, and I'm here today with Mariana, our head of advisors, to answer all of your questions. Don't forget to pop them below and ask away. Ask us anything. We're ready.
We're here to answer all your questions today about studying in the UK, living in the UK, working in the UK. I know you have a lot of experience with this, Joanna. I don't know if you want to tell us a bit about where you're from, how you ended up in the UK, all of this.
Yes, sure. So I'm from Portugal. I came to study my bachelor degree in biological and forensic sciences. I came to the UK in 2016. So I was 18, and I decided to come because I went to a student fair, and I met OK Student, so the Portuguese branch of OK Student. And I got to know about this opportunity to study abroad. I've always dreamt about studying abroad. So that was something that was always in my mind since I was a kid, that film
theme. Always on my mind.
Exactly, that film thing, like, study maybe in America or whatever,
The study abroad dream, let's say.
Study abroad dream, yeah, the different experience. One of the things that caught my attention was student finance. So the student loan that could actually pay for our student fees. And I was like, yes, this is it. Like, I was in my 12th grade, so just about to apply to Portuguese universities. I was like, okay, this is my chance. Like, let's do it. Spoke to my parents, and yes. And that's why I met Mariana. That's how we met. She was, correct me if I'm wrong, you were a student advisor at the time?
Yep, I was at OK Studente at the time, which is where I started off.
Exactly.
Hi, Surf, saying
hello,
love your
hair.
Joanna, I told you your hair looks amazing today. Like,
yes. You said you missed my blue hair, so here you go, Surf, just for you.
biggest fan.
My biggest fan. Love you, Surf. Mariana wasn't my student advisor, but we had this event just right before we came to the UK, which is called pre-departure orientation.
Exactly.
To prepare us basically to come, tell us everything we need to know, share some experiences, because Mariana also studied in the UK. We'll get to that. And yes, she was actually talking about her experience, some funny stories. Would you like to share some?
I did that role, so you guys can do that role now. But yeah, one of the stories that Joanna is referring to is the day I had a small breakdown outside my house because I thought I'd lost the keys, and I just left about a 12-hour work shift or something. It was 3 a.m. It was freezing cold in Cambridge where I studied. And honestly, having not had the keys at that moment was I just sank to my knees, started crying, a whole thing. I just really could not deal until the moment. So I spent about 5 minutes crying in front of my house. And then suddenly I remembered that the window where my housemate was sleeping was just in front of me. So I just knocked on her window and she opened the door to me, and I went into my house and I was so happy. So this really, I told this story at all the PDOs, basically because I think it's like when you can't find a solution, normally you just have to look around a bit and a solution will present itself. We have a question here from Stefan.
Hello, Stefan.
Hey. So my question is, why should a student choose the UK instead of US, Germany, or any other country with excellent education? And I think this relates to what you were saying, Joanna, where you were saying, I had this study abroad dream, and then I was swayed by student finance. For those of you who don't know, student finance is a loan system that UK and European students can access to pay for their tuition fees mainly. So why
Yes.
would you choose the UK, or why would someone choose the UK instead of the US?
Well, that's the main reason. That was the main reason for me. So obviously, as everyone know, the US, for example, it's quite expensive, and there's no help. So yeah, you would have to pay all of your tuition fees up front. And the UK has actually that system implemented for you to help you out, because otherwise it's quite difficult to just pay for all of this. It's not that cheap. And obviously the UK, because I always wanted to, develop my English. In Portugal, we have English classes since I was 5. I've been learning English, but it's never the same thing. Learning English abroad, it's never the same thing as when you are surrounded by British people or people that speak English. So it's so good to develop your English. And having classes in English as well, I was quite afraid, I'm not gonna lie, and it took a while. So when I came, I came alone basically. My mom came with me for a week, and when she left, that day I had my first day of Freshers Week. I actually signed up, and that's something I would not have done before. Like going by myself somewhere surrounded by new people. I was freaking out. But yeah, I did it because I had to meet new people. I was by myself. So, like obviously it was hard to because in the UK, obviously the British accent is quite strong. We're not used to it because we spend our lives watching American TV shows and American movies, not so much UK ones. So yeah, it's something they need to get used to, and you do once you start making friends and speaking to people, and you get comfortable. You really need to put yourself out there and just give it a go. Don't be afraid. And
I think that's definitely an excellent point. Is like English in the UK does make it much easier, and English is such a global language that it is really important that we have qualifications in it. I just want to say hi to everyone who's joining us now. Hi, Trisha. Hi, Alcina. Hi, Katit. Sorry if I've mispronounced your name. We are here live at OK Student. I am Mariana, head of advisors, and I'm here with
Joana, student advisor for OK Student. Hello, guys.
Hello, everyone. Don't forget to comment below, ask us any question that you might have about studying in the UK. So we got a question from Sarv. Do you guys think the compact 1-year master's is better than the 2-year master's elsewhere? So was this also a reason why you picked the UK instead of Germany, for example, that has the 2-year master?
No, actually, I had no idea a master's in the UK was 1 year. And I haven't done one yet. So I just finished my bachelor's, and I am planning to do my master's in the UK, because you end up with the same qualifications and you have international recognition anyways. And why you just spend 2 years learning about the same thing and ending up with the same qualification? It's amazing. You just once you want to do a master's, you just want to get the qualification and put yourself out there in the work market. So you just want to start working because you've been studying for your entire life. So I think it's a great plus of studying in the UK.
Yeah, definitely.
And again, you can apply for student finance as well.
Exactly.
If you're a European student.
Exactly. I really feel that this 1-year master is definitely much better to do, because it definitely saves you time. You end up doing the same thing. You end up with the same qualification. So why not? Katit, we have a question here as well. My question is, what part of the UK is best to study law anywhere in Scotland or London? Ooh, Joanna, do you want to take this very student advisor question?
That's a very student advisor question.
Let's put Joanna's knowledge to the test here.
So to study law anywhere in Scotland or in London, both, well, London is the hub of the UK. So you be in great hands in London, and there's such a great number of good universities. But yes, the downside is that London is very expensive. So Scotland would actually end up being a good solution in that case. So that's very personal to you. So feel free to fill our form, and one of our senior advisors will get in touch with you as soon as possible, and we can look at your case and advise you.
Definitely. I really think that this really depends on your qualifications. It depends on your personal case. Where would you like to live? This sort of thing. It's important that your degree is also a qualifying law degree. So I would definitely, so that means an LLB, Bachelor's of Law. And I definitely would recommend you contact us through the form at okstudent.co.uk/form so that we can best advise you. So we have here another question from Chris Pavlo. Hey, Chris.
Hello, Chris.
Asking, is it difficult to make friends with people with different backgrounds, such as nationality?
I'll take that one. Sorry. It's actually amazing.
It was a bee. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. A bee just appeared in front of me. Wildlife in the UK, guys. It's amazing.
Awesome. Get used to it. Get used to it. It's amazing. That's one of the best things I have to say about coming abroad, coming to the UK to study, is you end up meeting people from everywhere around the world. And you become so aware of like the differences in cultures, everything. It's amazing. And then obviously you end up separating at the end, and you end up with a very good excuse to travel, to visit them. Yes, I've actually took my friends to Portugal for a trip, and they loved it.
Was that just so you could get a sofa anywhere where they would be?
No. Like
Guys, come to Portugal. I have a sofa for you. And then next year, all I'm doing is traveling through all of your countries.
Exactly. Why not? I haven't though. I will. I promise. But I've grown so much by learning through their experiences, what they've told me so far, and how different it is. You become so aware. It's crazy. It's amazing.
I heard you even avoided making friends with Portuguese people when you first got here. Yes. Is this true?
Isn't that ironic? When I came, I refused. I was like, no. I'm out of Portugal, so why would I want to, get a group of Portuguese people? Like, I just want to get to know international students. They're in the same position as me, so it's going to be easier. And actually, when I decided to rent a room when I came, I actually decided not to share any room with any house with Portuguese people. I just wanted to, put myself out there and meet new people. Yeah, so that's quite funny.
Definitely. I definitely think the UK is one of the best places to meet people from all different backgrounds. The universities here are so multicultural. They have such a big number of international and European students that you'll definitely make friends with people from all over the world. And then you can benefit from this side effect of just having sofas everywhere. Yes. And while expanding your horizons, obviously getting to know different cultures, getting to know how different people live and think about the world and view the world. All of this is really important, and it will benefit you in general for your entire life. I feel that having international friends and having friends from all over the world has definitely benefited the way I view the world and the openness of my mind as well.
Exactly, because some of those stories you just don't hear every day, It's very specific and very, their own experience in that specific country. And it's amazing. And I think you end up valuing, on the other side, you end up valuing your culture as well. So, and because you're missing home and you're surrounded by international people, you're like, wow, I actually love my culture. I embrace it while loving the other cultures as well. So that's something.
Yeah. I was thinking, I was trying to think about the number of nationalities, and now it's like somebody has put it here. It's about 150 different nationalities represented on campus of all the universities. So of each university. So this is 150 nationalities you can get to know. And
Wow.
I want to mention, because we started talking about the pre-departure orientation where you were, that's definitely one of the things that we always tell students is that it's not better, not worse, just different. A culture that's different than yours is just different. It's not better, not worse. It's just another thing.
Yeah.
I want to mention as well, we have a project called the Worldwide 100 Challenge with OK Student, where we're looking for students from 100 different nationalities. We have our Medium blog that's already covered in stories from all these different nationalities. So do check it out. See the experience of different students and all of their international friends. And if you have a story that you want to share, also you can go there and see how you can participate in this challenge. So
Please do.
yes, we have a lot of questions here, guys. Hi, everyone. For everyone who's joining us, we're here on our live Q&A with OK Student, with me, Mariana, Head of Advisors, and our amazing
Joana, hello. How are you guys? Student advisor, by the way.
So we have a question from Milena. What should I consider when choosing the university I want to study in?
Yes, something very important you should consider, obviously, is the offer or the course that you are looking for, basically. And you need to be aware that different universities that offer a similar course, it's not usually the same. So different universities that offer the same course, it might not be so similar as it may seem. So you should check the modules they offer, because it will end up being different in that way. So that's something you really need to pay attention to. Obviously, if you're interested in going to a better university, with more more renowned university, you should check the rankings as well. All of those things you should consider. Obviously, the city where the university is based at, depending on your interests, depending on your budget as well. That's something very important.
I think that you definitely touched the point there that is really important, is budgeting for these things. I feel that when we talk about, and I say this because we also have a question about living in London and how much it would cost on average from Renuka. And I feel like these two things are really connected, is you really need to pay attention to your budget. You really need to get yourself a budget calculator and make sure that you can afford to live in the city that you want. So the UK has very different, like any other country, it has very different price points and life quality indexes depending on the area where you are. So I'd say that this is definitely a thing to consider. And then obviously, like the things you like to do the most, if you want to share a house, if you don't, the course, the university, the field-based ranking, all of these are really, really important. And if you're struggling, again, if you're struggling with choosing a university, if you're struggling with like trying to figure out where to live, because I know that these things can be quite difficult, don't hesitate to contact us at okstudent.co.uk/form, and one of our student advisors will get in contact with you right away. So we have another question here. Do you want to take this question from Renuka as well and say a bit about living in London and the cost of it?
Yes, so living in London is one of the most expensive cities you may encounter. So based on the experience of some of our advisors that are currently studying in London, you may end up spending, I would say, at least 1,500 to 2,000 per month, including accommodation, living expenses, all of that, not including your tuition fees.
Yeah, definitely. I feel that it's really complicated, because when you come from an international background as well, and when you come from a different currency, it's quite easy to think, and I felt that a lot when I came from Portugal and saw the living wages in the UK, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to earn so much money. And then most of my money just went to rent. And that is really just a huge consideration that you need to have, is how much rent is going to cost in London and how much transport is going to cost in London. Because if you're studying in central London and you're living far out in zone 7 or 8, you're going to spend a lot of time and a lot of money on transport, and that money could be going elsewhere. But if you live closer, that money will just be going on rent as well. So it's definitely trying to keep a balance here. I know that LSC's recommendation, for example, for a stipend to living in London is about 1,300 a month, but it's definitely probably higher than this.
Yes, you obviously always depend on your social life as well. Social life is it's a great component of your living expenses because you're independent for the first time.
Are you
Personal
speaking from experience? Yeah, there we go.
Personal experience. So you'll become independent once you leave your country. So you're living by yourself, and you suddenly feel the urge to just do everything as soon as possible. So you just want to, you're meeting new people, so you just want to go out. You just want to, have a coffee with friends, all of that. And there's so many ways you can spend your money when you come to the UK.
Man, I feel like my first few weeks in the UK were just a wreck to my budget, especially from Freshers Week onwards. It's just like terrifying.
And online shopping. That's something you get introduced to very quickly once you come to the UK.
Joanna has discovered a new vice while in the UK, and it's called Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime, yes. Yes, even food shopping, it's amazing how easy it is to just, sit down on your laptop and just order everything. You don't need to carry any bags. They just get delivered to your door. It's like I'm advertising for them. I'm not, guys.
Man, you need commission for that. You should gain commission for that. Ocado, give us commission. So I just want to say, to finish this point on living in London as an international student and budgeting and all of this, that there are a lot of good university options outside of London where living is much cheaper. And again, if you need any advice, do let us know at okstudent.co.uk/form, and one of our student advisors will get in contact with you. Also, don't forget that you can ask all of your questions down below. Give us some comments, ask us some questions, like our videos, all of it. We have an Instagram question. September intake is started for all London unis and for international students. That's from Jenny. Hi, Jenny. Nice to meet you. We don't know yet about September intake, so we do know that universities are taking it upon themselves to do what's best for the community of students, and they're trying to see if it's possible to start a September intake, if they're going to start later, if they're going to start it online, but be very confident that as soon as we have a clear information, you will find out right away.
Yes, I would also like to add that I don't think students should be feeling, afraid of waiting to see what kind of response the universities have. Don't give up on your applications. Don't give up on your offers before you have all the information. So
Definitely.
just wait to see what's going to happen. We still have plenty of time. So don't rush into any decisions.
Definitely. And if you're thinking about applying, still do apply. It's still worth it, and we definitely don't know what's going to happen. So just apply and we'll see what's up. I know that London Metropolitan has told us that they're planning to start in the autumn. So this is what we know so far. I think we have here a question from Raphael that I want to take on, because I know that this is gonna be analogous to your experience, Joanna. Where is it manageable to work at the same time as doing your master's degree?
Well, yes, it is possible. I'm not taking a master's degree yet, but some of our advisors are actually master's students, and they are indeed working with us and doing their master's degree very successfully. But I have been working since my first year. Since I came, before I started my degree, I found a part-time job. And it's really a matter of time management. You just really need to get that skill to prioritize what you need to do. Don't forget that you came to the UK to study, and that's your first priority. But the time, obviously, comparing it to Portugal, to my experience in Portugal, and obviously some other countries as well, where university takes up a lot of time. In the UK, you end up with like 10, 15, up to 20 hours maximum of presential time. So you end up having a lot of free time to work, and you should find a part-time work because it's a great way of developing new skills. And you should always think ahead and think that when you are being interviewed for your future job, they will ask you about those skills, and they will ask you how you develop them. And a part-time job is definitely a great way of growing, self-growth and self-development. So
Definitely.
yes, definitely
So
do it.
I think this connects to a question that I wanted to ask you for a while now, which is what it's like now to help students as an advisor from someone who came through OK Studente here.
Yes, exactly. So I was very close to the process because obviously I came through Occasionant. And now I was actually working at a pub when I got contacted by our director at OK Student. And at first I was like, I already have a part-time job.
Why am I going to get another one?
I'm already like, do I have time for everything? And a voice in my head was like, just do it. Like, you need to try new things. You need to, get some new skills. And this job would definitely give that to me and would help me, develop these sociable skills and communication skills. And advising students based on my experience, it's something very, very nice, because it was very helpful for me, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have came to the UK. So if I can do the same thing to help students in the position I was 3 years ago, yes, I definitely want to do it. It's so gratifying. It's great.
I think that's definitely a part of being an advisor and working with OK Student. It's definitely the opportunity of being able to help students with information that we didn't have or that we had, but we didn't really care a lot about. I think that each time like that I did the events and the workshops for students with you guys, it has just been this almost like a thing of like, I know that maybe you're not going to listen to me, but I do hope you are, because this information would have been so nice for me.
Yes, that's the thing. Is like, what kind of information did I need when I was going through this? This is the information I want them to get. I want you guys to get everything to make, a pondered decision, a very
Exactly.
informative. So, and I can only imagine, I've been doing these for 7 months now, but you've been doing these for quite a while now. So your
Been 5
experience,
years, man. 5 years.
quite experienced, Mariana.
5 years. I haven't heard that name in years type thing. Yes, that's it basically. I've been here for way too long. I'm not even a recent graduate anymore, so I don't get like you guys need to start taking your experience doing this. And I'm so happy with the work that has been done, and I'm really happy that we've been able to help a lot of students this year and that we're continuing to help. So don't forget, if you have any questions about your specific case, if you want to apply but haven't yet, just contact us through okstudent.co.uk/form. If you have a question, a burning question that you really need to ask now, just comment below on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, and we'll get to it right away after we answer all of these other fantastic questions that we have here. So Rafael has asked a follow-up question that I also want to follow up with this, where it is, if you have the time to go out, make friends, visit places, or time for yourself when you're working and studying at the same time.
Yes. Again, time managing is key. Like you will find time for everything. And as I was saying, I didn't know if I would have time to, take two part-time jobs. And guess what? I did, and I thought it wasn't possible. So you can always manage to, to get that free time. And it's very important as well that you find free time for yourself to, explore. You're in a new country, in a new city with so many new people, that you need to find the time to explore, to travel a bit, enjoy. As most people say, like uni is the best time of your life. So you should definitely enjoy as much as possible. And there's so many things to try out, and you won't get bored. I promise you, you won't get bored.
Exactly. And if you get to a point, because it's really easy, I think, with like time management and with this sort of thing, it's very easy for us to get to a point when we're doing a lot of things and we really just can't find the time to dedicate ourselves to one of them. And like you're holding too many plates at the same time, you're trying to spin too many plates, and it gets really confusing. So if you feel like you're getting to that point, definitely reanalyze how you're spending your time. Try to see how much time you need to spend on your course, how much time you want to spend socialize, and then see how much time you have left for work, how much time you need for yourself as well. And if you see that you're getting to a point where like you can't cope, it's okay to ask for help. Universities are quite helpful in this. They have hardship funds if you need money, and they have support and counseling if you need help with mental health, if you're feeling a bit burned out. Your tutors and lecturers can also be a really good assistance here. If you just tell them what's the situation for you, if you tell them, okay, I'm working and I really need to work, they will give you help. They have office hours as well that you can attend. If you want to ask any questions, if you want to just talk to someone, you can definitely go to them as well.
Yeah, I think it's actually amazing the amount of resources universities have. It's like you can't even keep up with how many things they have going on and how many lines of help they have. For example, that's something I really value in my university, is that they have a line for like mental health issues. If you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling pressured, if you're experiencing some anxiety, anything, you just contact them, you talk to them, they will help you out. And that's something very valuable here. Like they are up for it. They want to listen to your problems. It's just a matter of you getting, I think you shouldn't be afraid to like expose what's going on, because if you don't, they won't know and they won't be able to help you. So don't feel afraid, and just talk to whoever you need to talk to, and get help. Definitely.
Exactly. Awesome. We got an Instagram question here from Ubos or 00boss. If you cannot afford UK universities, then what should you do because they are too expensive? So at the beginning, we spoke about student finance, and that's an option for EU students. If you're a European student or if you're a United Kingdom student, so a domestic student, you can access student finance, which will cover your tuition fee. But the reality is that UK education is expensive. There are some scholarships, but a full scholarship is really, really rare, and they are awarded for talent and academic excellence. So if you have more questions in regards to this, I would definitely advise you to fill in our form at okstudent.co.uk/form, so that we can best help you with this.
Yes, these are the kind of questions. It's really based on your specific case. So we would have to know about your obviously your conditions, everything about you, so we can better help you out. So feel free to contact us anytime.
So we have a few questions here still. I just want to mention, hi everyone, I'm Mariana and I'm here with Joana, one of our great student advisors, on our live Q&A with OK Student. If you have any questions, do drop them below and we'll answer right away. So Chris Pavlo has asked, how different is it living in a shared house and a university accommodation? I don't know. I don't have the experience of living in a university accommodation, unfortunately.
Me neither. But well, obviously, I have some friends. I don't know. You probably have heard about your friends' experiences as well.
Yeah,
So, would you like to share some of those? And
well, I think university accommodations are really fun when you're an undergraduate. I think maybe when you're postgraduate, they're a bit more chaotic when you really need to study, when you're working, when you're a different age. I've lived in shared houses my entire undergraduate degree and my master's degree, both in Portugal and here in the UK. And I definitely found that I get a bit more privacy and a little less chaos. But it does depend on the type of university accommodation that you choose as well, because if you choose a room without a bathroom, that's obvious that you're going to be sharing a kitchen and a bathroom with other people. But you can also choose to rent your own studio apartment, and that already gives you a completely different sort of privacy. I feel like there's a thing about security here and contracts as well, where if you know that you're staying for the full year, you have capability of paying for like a large amount of your rent right up front, then you should definitely opt for university accommodation, as it is potentially much easier to book from abroad than shared house. And because it's also like a full year contract for your entire academic year. How did you find your house, Joanna, when you moved to Coventry?
yes, so I think housing is very personal and it depends on your state of mind at the moment. So when I came, I wanted my privacy and I wanted, those moments when you get home from uni, it's been a whole day of like socializing and social contact, it's like it can be overwhelming. So I wanted to, just get home, go to my room, be with myself, study for a bit, chill. So I decided to just rent a room in a shared house with my own bathroom, which is amazing.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's
That was
great.
one of the best things.
Man, and
Um,
one of the things that I've learned to value so much when I was in the UK is having my own bathroom. It's like, oh, it's just love.
my mom was right. My mom was like, you won't, you don't want to share a bathroom. Like, she was right. Thank you, mom. Um, so yes, it's a new experience. Like you need to be very open-minded and be aware that not everyone has the same mindset as you. But in my experience, it was actually very nice. Everyone was in the same page. Like they wanted their privacy as well. So we would meet in the kitchen. That was the only common space, anyways. And they were very respectful in that sense. Like there was only that I can remember of one party, one huge party. I came home.
Oh,
I
man.
remember. I came home from the library with a friend of mine. It was like two a.m. something like that. Those late nights at the library.
Oh,
Uh,
my.
and I came home and I lost him inside the kitchen because my house was packed and I couldn't even see him. I was like, "Oh my god, are you there?" So yeah, that was the only hiccup in a way. But these here, and it's obviously when you come by yourself and you don't know anyone to share a house with, this is one of the options. Like just rent a room. But once you get to know people and make friends, you can always rent a place with them, and that's what I did this year. So I moved in with my friends from uni, and it was great. It was a way better experience than being by myself in a room because we're friends now. But you need to be careful, obviously, because living with friends is not easy. Mariana, you're laughing. Have you got any?
I'm laughing. I'm laughing for two reasons. Because hi Maria, we have Maria João Pereira saying, and in the shared house, moms can visit you. And I think that's definitely one of the big advantages of living in a shared house. Although when I was in my undergraduate, I would never let my mom into my house because I really just did not want her to find out how messy I am actually and how much my room was just not okay. So yeah, I think my mom would have appreciated, but she also stayed in a hotel when she came to the UK.
No. My mom was coming at least once or twice a year. She was staying with me, cooking for
Oh,
everyone, rearranging my cupboards. I was like, "Mom, what are you doing? Like, I have my my own way of my order, my own way of putting
your
things." She
organized
just
chaos.
Yeah, my organized chaos. She was just like misplace everything, but it was amazing to have her, definitely.
Yeah.
And it's one of the great plus of living in a shared house. But accommodations are great for students who don't who are new to the city. It's a great way of meeting people as well because everyone is a student. And as you said, security wise, for some of the most worried parents, it's great because in most of them you have security 24/7. The entries are always like recorded, so it's great as well.
I think that's the main advantage is living in a university accommodation definitely has like these social benefits where you do find friends much easier and quicker potentially because you're living with people who are in your university and who are potentially in the same course as you. I think that you said something earlier that is really relevant especially when people come in from undergraduate. They potentially never lived with anyone else apart from family, and sharing with anyone else apart from family is very different, and especially when it is living with your friends. So do make sure you talk to the people who you're going to who you're going to move in with, to make sure you're all on the same page about how to distribute cleaning, how to especially that. I think that can make or break friendships when people are living together, is if everyone just kind of agrees on how to clean and when to clean and how clean they want the house to be.
Exactly. Rules are essential anywhere. Anywhere, rules are essential. So just talk, like openly talk about things, and communication is key in these cases. So, from my own personal experience, again, communication is key. But like even in student accommodations, you'd probably most likely would have to share spaces as well. So this is something you need to get used to, and once you do, it's great, and you'll have a very good experience.
Exactly. So we have a question here from Renuka. Best course or best uni? Which one you'll suggest one to choose? It really depends. I always think that field-based rankings are better than general rankings. So what I mean when I say general ranking is which university is better, and when I say field-based rankings is which university is better in that specific area. And I think that field-based rankings are definitely the way to go. That's how we at OK Student think about these universities and these courses when we are recommending them to our students. It's definitely through the field-based ranking.
Yes, and universities, it's very subjective. I find them very subjective. Exactly, it depends on the area, on your subject, and it depends in a range of things. If it's based on student experience, if it's based on grades, there's a lot going on there. So it's quite tricky to say if a university is better than another one. And I would definitely say course is key, like studying something you really like. And I remember from my time when I was choosing my course and finding these courses that had both options. I really wanted to study biology and forensic science, so finding these courses that join both, it was really important. So make sure you get to know the course you want to study. Make sure there's accreditations if that's the case, and feel comfortable with your choice. But I think definitely the course, that's something I would recommend personally.
Exactly. And again, if you have any questions about your specific case, if you want help with applying and choosing your university or your course, do let us know through
We're here.
okstudent.co.uk/form. We're here. And if you send us your details, we can right away get you connected to a student advisor who can help you with your specific case. We have a question here from Rita Gaspar about what is the best time to start thinking and applying for a master's? Ooh.
As soon as possible.
Anytime, basically.
Anytime.
Now.
Yes, we're still doing it. We're still doing
okstudent.co.uk/form. Go.
Go apply now with us. No, but for real now, like start thinking about it even before you finish with your bachelor's. Start thinking about what you want to do, why you're studying that. You know, what's your goals, what's your dreams, you know, and find something that will, you know, specify your knowledge in that specific area that you want to, you know, pursue. But definitely start thinking about it ahead of time. Even though we are still doing master's applications and you're still in time, but you know, start thinking it in advance. And yes, we're here. Just talk to us. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, basically. So master's applications, I would always say from January onwards, you can start thinking about it, if not before, and you can apply all the way through to September. So definitely, if you're thinking about taking a master's next year, contact us now so that we can start working on it. And I always think that, yeah, what you said in the beginning, Joanna, is definitely like as soon as possible. Not because it's urgent, but because it increases your chances of getting in to the right course, the right uni, and the right location. So it's good to do lots of research on this, not only because you can get like the perfect course, but also because fees vary very, very dramatically in between masters. So the postgraduate loan for EU students and UK students covers up to £10,000 of your tuition fee. So it is important that we do a lot of research to make sure that your tuition fee is either not higher than that or not that high.
Exactly. So students can actually afford it.
Exactly. So we have a question here as well from Katit about the universities for law. Would you like to suggest any university for law? I think that this really depends, doesn't it? It depends on your average. It depends on your grades. It depends which country you want to come in from. It depends what your previous background is and all of this.
Yes, that's basically what we do. So we make a search for you. So we do all the search of universities and courses for you, but based on your individual preferences, your budget. So everything is tailored to you. So the best university for you wouldn't be the best university for someone else. So it's really tailored to each student, and that's something we're really proud of in OK Student.
Definitely. I think that it's definitely a very difficult question because it's impossible to say which one of them is better without looking into your specific case. All of our processes start with listening to you, the student, as to what they need, what you want, and what is the best place for you, what are your objectives. So definitely, even law degrees vary among your objectives. If you want to be a barrister, if you want to be a solicitor, these are all things that, or if you want to go into research, these all depend. So definitely, I would say go into okstudent.co.uk/form. Leave us your details so that we can get you in contact with a student advisor as soon as possible. Thank you, Renuka, saying that we're doing great.
Thank you very much, Renuka.
And we have a question from Sofia Almeida. Just want to take a second and say that you're here with OK Student. My name is Mariana, and we're here with
Joana. Hello, guys. I'm a student advisor for OK Student, and we're here today to answer all of your questions.
Exactly. We have a question from Sophia asking about the hospitals. If you get sick, do you have any insurance or something like that? Joanna, I know you work with forensics, but I'm going to leave this one to you. You don't have to worry.
Let me tell you, I haven't been once to the hospital since I came. I don't know if you did,
I
but
went. I went.
you
I
did.
went in my
How was
first
your
year.
experience?
It was really good, actually. I really enjoy, like, honestly, there is a thing here. The UK health system is fabulous. You do have a lot of waiting, like you do in all of the public services, but they have great services. I think that they're really inclusive in their service as well. You do have insurance, so you have NHS. Being here as a student, you're included into the National Health Service. If you're in a university, they will assign you with a GP, so you will be assigned to a medical center. So, for example, I'm registered with the medical center at Nottingham Trent University, and this is part of your enrollment when you get to university. So they will give you information about the medical center so you can register. But even if you're not registered with a medical center, you can access hospitals and you can access GPs and all of these healthcares. This, for non-EU students, when you apply for your visa, you will need to pay a small surcharge on that visa so you can access the NHS. But from the point where you pay that surcharge, you have access to all of the hospitals and all of the healthcare.
Yeah, and for most of the things free of charge, right? And that's one of the great advantages of the NHS. Shout out to our
Exactly.
NHS.
Shout out to our
Amazing,
NHS.
amazing, amazing people, amazing
Amazing
staff.
work. Definitely. Oh man. I really, my experience with the national health system is fantastic. And I feel that they're truly just keeping us going. So don't forget to clap the NHS every Thursday at 8 p.m. From
Yes,
your windows, from everywhere you are, just clap the NHS.
yes, I think we should tell these people that are listening to us. Yes, we do have this thing on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. We go out the window, your front porch, anything, and just clap. And it's great. You get to see your neighbors once a week,
I feel
the
that it's
entire
quite a
street.
social moment.
It is. It is. It's quite a very. It's nice, to see the atmosphere, everyone getting together for one cause, and be thankful for this amazing healthcare system. It's
Exactly,
great. It's
exactly.
great.
It's fantastic, honestly. Guys, don't forget, we're here to answer all of your questions. So if you have any more questions, don't hesitate to put your questions below so we can answer them right away. We have another question from Katit that I find really interesting. So, is the UK suited for studying about winemaking or about how to set up beer breweries?
That's a
This
very
must
hard
be
question.
Man, this must be a really interesting course, but I do know that there are some universities that have cocktail societies and things like this.
Society is always there for you. Seriously,
Exactly.
you can find anything.
So if you want to come in and study law and at the same time try your hand at beer making or wine making, you can definitely find a society that will help you do that. But there are also loads of artisanal food and drink degrees. So it is definitely a possibility that we can find you a degree specific about winemaking or beer breweries, normally in agricultural campuses. So you will be dealing with a lot of animals.
Yes. Yes, to be in very rural areas of the UK, which is beautiful, but quite isolated. So it's a balance for sure.
It's fun.
But yeah,
I love the UK countryside, honestly.
it's amazing. I think I haven't visited the countryside that much, but I should definitely do it. I will.
Definitely. And you're in Coventry. You're near the Peak District, so you can just go up and go to the Peak District, and it's amazing, honestly.
I really want to go there. I really want to go there. It's on my list for sure. But yes,
Yep.
I think you should be able to study brewery.
And I mean,
Breweries.
it's
Even
such a
hard
big
to say.
industry right now, right? Craft beer is such a big industry in the UK where you have
Exactly. With
things
all
like
these
Brewdog,
clubs.
exactly. And even Brewdog, who came out of nowhere, and they're such a big brand now. And I remember just having them started, and it was so small, and they've just had an exponential growth. So I think it's definitely one of the best countries to look into these sort of weird and unusual degrees.
Yes.
But definitely also all the weird and unusual societies.
Yes, societies sorry, before we move on to societies, I just want to tell Kahit, if you're interested, just let us know. We'll do a search for you. So feel free to fill out our form at okstudent.co.uk/form.
Yeah, like
Uh,
put us through the ringer, man. I want to find a degree about winemaking
yes,
and beer breweries now. Let's go.
I definitely want to know more about that. So that would be interesting. But yes, societies. Yes,
Oh
I
wait,
think.
we have Michaela here on the YouTube. Michaela, this is great. Saying that their favorite part of England is the Peak District. Michaela is in Derby, so we need to definitely go and visit University of Derby so that you can come and get to know a bit of what it's like to be a bit more in the countryside than Coventry. Michaela, thank you so much for being here and for listening to us. And I hope you're having a great quarantine within reason.
Thank you, Michaela. That's very nice. We'll definitely visit soon, as soon as possible. So thank you. Thank you for listening.
So I was gonna ask, what is the weirdest society in Coventry?
Oh my God, the weirdest society. I can't even, like I've been through them. And there's so many things. There's anything you can imagine. I don't know, the Pokemon Society, Let's Go for a Drink Society, the Raw. I
Let's
know
go for a
there's
drink society.
probably. Let's go for a drink. Yeah, people just go to the pub once a week, and well, actually, all societies should do that. They have at least here in Coventry, they have a social night out. So they go to a club or they go to a pub and then go to a club. Um, they have thematic nights as well. So when you go out, I don't know, you're dressed as a painter or as a builder or as a football player. There's so many things. It's actually nice. The only society I've joined was the LGBTQ society in Coventry University, which was amazing. And have you joined any society during
Man,
your
I haven't
university
joined.
times?
I haven't joined any societies at NTU. I joined Anglia. I joined the Nactus, which is basically a young entrepreneurs association, and I was doing a lot of video for them. But definitely, one of the things that I would say is what I've always seen in universities, and that made me feel really involved and like I really belonged, is all of the LGBTQ support and all of the LGBTQ societies that they have. So recently at NTU, they had like these pronoun badges that you could put on with like your pronouns. And that for me, it was the cutest thing because they weren't even asking for money. They were just there with like my pronouns are they, them, or my pronouns are he, him, etc. And
That's
it's just
amazing.
so good to have a student union that really cares about these issues and that really makes everyone feel included. I feel that mental health support is something that's really present as well in the student unions. I feel like capabilities and abilities are also really talked about in student unions, and they really have accessibility as a core feature of them.
Yes, student unions are very serious about these things. They're all about inclusivity and about everyone having their own place, a university feeling comfortable about anything. So they are really great, and they empower students to just drive these societies. Yes, it's important to say that these societies are student driven, so students can actually come up with ideas and create a society. Actually, when I came, there wasn't a Portuguese society at the time, but then on my second year, a Portuguese student actually, because there were so many Portuguese students coming to Coventry, they were like, well, let's just do it. Let's do a Portuguese society, get together, show our culture, cook some food, so people could try it. And yes, there's so many nationality societies, religions as well. So you will definitely find your spot in uni and get the chance to hang out with people who are just like you and have the same mindset and the same tastes and interests. So that's amazing.
It's just really good, honestly. That's exactly it. We have a question here from Renuka, and then I think we might be ready to close this if you don't have any more questions. If you want to flood us with questions suddenly, that's fine. We've got time. We can stay here all day. If not, we are going to close after this question from Renuka about IELTS. So thank you, Katit.
Thank you.
IELTS academic or IELTS for UKVI, which one should I choose while applying for a visa as an international student? Do you want me to take this one?
Yeah, you can take this one.
All right, so basically it's always UKVI. If you're trying to apply for a visa, it's definitely IELTS for UKVI. Don't pick IELTS academic. If you don't need a visa, if you're a European student, then yeah, you can pick academic. We have another question from Katit here. Thank you, Katit. How is the education system getting affected in UK because of the COVID-19 pandemic, specifically universities and their semester dates?
So from my personal experience, I just spent my most of my second semester in lockdown. So my university was shut. And I really think that the universities in the UK have responded so quickly and appropriately to the students' needs. So basically, they moved everything online, even assessments. So anything that was presential, such as exams, or for example, I had my courtroom assessment. I was going to court, and I had to be there all dressed up and all. They moved everything online, and they made it so easy for us to ask for help. All the staff at uni, they are so approachable, and they really know how to, communicate with you in the most appropriate manner. And also, some universities have adopted the non-detriment policy, which is really amazing. It's basically, it depends obviously on the university and how they are, the level of, well, it depends how much they are taking it into account. But basically in Coventry University, they're going to see if your grades, since you've been at home, are actually negatively influencing your average grade. And if it is, they will not take it into as much account as they would at the beginning. So they're really all about helping the students and not, I'm missing the word here, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get it. It's quite a good policy that they've enacted there. It's definitely really, really advantageous to students. If you're struggling at home right now with the quarantine, I know we all are a bit. So anxiety is normal, insomnia is normal, and that can definitely impact your grades. So a lot of universities have been giving extensions as well for assignments.
Exactly, yeah.
And a lot of universities have been doing this policy as well, where they will take these grades into less of an account. In regards to beginnings in September, we don't know yet. We have some confirmations that universities are going to start, but there are a lot that haven't confirmed yet their start dates. But I'm sure that by October, all of them should be running.
Yes, and we'll keep you posted. So if we continue doing these lives every week, just keep asking, and we'll keep you posted about those issues as soon as we know.
Exactly. Joana, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Thank you for these guys. Just a big thank you to these guys for, just being so supportive and asking all those questions. We're here for you. So, feel free to contact us at any point. And we're more than happy to help you.
We got such amazing questions today. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Thank you for everyone who was listening to us and asking all of these great questions. And I hope to see you again next week.
See you soon, guys. See you soon, Mariana.